The art of shoelace tying has been around for generations upon generations. It is one of the fundamental tasks a child must accomplish when they are around 4 to 6 years old. It is a difficult task for them to complete at such an early age. Yet when they grow up into adults, it becomes such a normal thing that they take it for granted and forget what an easy objective it really was. Let's meet Evelyn, a professor in cognitive psychology at Webster University in St. Louis, Missouri.
Usually by about a year, we've acquired the pincer grip, which is basically the motor ability to use your finger and your thumb to pick up certain things. And from a motor development perspective, children's hands their fingers can be very, sort of short and stumpy. So it would be hard for a 1-year-old to, even with a pincer grip, be able to engage in the manual dexterity to be able to tie shoes in that way. But by the time you're 3 and a half, the fingers have grown a bit. The bones are growing, and they're long enough that it's not going to be a hindrance as far as being able to tie.
There are generally 2 types of shoelace tying. The first one, the bunny ears method, is usually the first way that children are taught by their parents. Once they have that down, children are then taught a more common way of tying their shoes. Now let's go through both of these processes step by step to figure out exactly how these methods are done. First, we will create the initial knot. Take both of your shoelaces and cross them, making an X. Then wrap one of the shoelaces under and around the other. When that is completed, pull both ends tight. Congrats! You have just completed the initial knot needed for tying your own shoes. Way to go, buddy! Next, take both shoelaces and create 2 large loops. Those resemble bunny ears. Once you have both bunny ears, make a knot exactly like your initial knot. And once that is completed, you then have a successful bunny ears knot. Way to go, champ!
Yeah, my mom tried to teach me, but I couldn't do it, and my neighbor taught me like the 2 bunny ears thing.
I was probably 2 or 3 at that point. My mom got me the little junior toddler shoes. Remember her showing me like, this is how you do bunny ears and all that. Like, okay, this works.
Me, I was the one that was teaching other kids. I had to teach them. For me it was basic. I knew geography and everything about the whole science of the sign eye. But for them, I had to teach them that you got to loop it, swoop it, and coop it back around. See, I had to break it down elementary times for them. For me, it was pretty easy.
My grandfather taught me on the back step. He told me to take 2 bunny ears and to wrap the bunny ears together and form a knot. It stays with me today, and actually that's how I taught my kids to tie their shoes with the bunny ear method.
I was 5 years old, was not yet in kindergarten, and my grandfather taught me how to tie my shoes. And he would go into great detail about you cross the strings and then you make rabbit ears. And then you tie the rabbit ears. And I was very proud to say that I was first among my peers in shoe tying, and I think that sense of confidence has stayed with me for life.
I remember learning how to tie my shoes in kindergarten, and now when my back hurts, I cannot tie my shoes.
My own children, they had Velcro until they were at least 9 or 10.
Next, we will do the more common method of tying. First, create your initial knot. Then make 1 loop, or bunny ear. Then wrap the free lace around the bunny ear until you can pinch the lace between your pointy and middle finger. Then take the end of the looped lace with your other hand and pull it away from your shoe, also doing the same with the other lace. If you have created a tight knot this way, congratulations! You have just completed tying your shoes in the more common method. Meet Leah and her daughter Chloe to hear their thoughts on tying shoes. What do you guys think?
We didn't do any special thing like, here's the rabbit, go around the hole. We just kind of did the, make your one loop, go around, make your other loop, and then pull it through. That's all we did. Learn how to do it.
What was I practicing that baby bird thing?
Oh yeah, we had a doll that had shoelaces on it that you kind of tie.
It had a jacket.
Jacket to tie. That's how you kind of learn how to do it on there. Yeah.
First you pull both of these back, then you cross them, then you go through, then you pull Hey you! Hey you! Hey you! You fall down!
To this day, children are still learning how to tie their shoes from their parents. But with the advent of Velcro, it allows children not to learn how to tie their own shoes until later on in their childhood. Will this be the end of shoelace tying as we know it? Only time will tell.